2024 and you are still at the preliminary stages of competition. Welcome to the review show. Before we start the review show, I would like to acknowledge our viewers. Thank you for supporting NSMQ 2024. The review show is where we delve into exciting recaps of the day's contest, and we also try to answer the whys and the hows of how the contest went. Joining me for today's review are two coordinators from two senior high schools in the country. We have Mr. Boateng, who is the coordinator for Kofi J Senior High School, who are actually making their first appearance at the national stage. We also have Mr. Graham, who is the coordinator for University Practice Senior High School. Before we go right into it, please be reminded that the National Science and Maths Quiz is proudly sponsored by Ghana Education Service in partnership with Go PLC and supported by Joy News, Pay Money Transfer, Pepsodent, Prudential Life Insurance, Bell Beverages, Bitter Malt, KLX, Kivo, Prudential Life Insurance, Accra College of Medicine, Academic City University College, Coronation Insurance, PMMC Jewelry, GTP, CHAS, YFM, University of Mines and Technology, and Gelmark Foundation. This is a primetime production. You are welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So I'll start with you, Mr. Boateng. How has the day's contest been for you so far?
Well, when this being our first time at the national stage, our students were a little bit apprehensive and a little bit scared, as natural as you may think. But we came in well prepared. So we've psyched them that it's just a contest. So when they started, they were a little bit jittery. But going forward, they were able to find their rhythm. They did well, and we win convincingly.
Thank you very much. Mr. Graham,
Yes, sir.
did your contestants meet your expectations today?
Yes, they did.
The
Because
micro-
I expected them to.
It's on. It's on.
Because I expected them to win, and they did that. So
Right.
they met my expectation.
So your expectations were met regardless of the points they won with and all that. Do you think that matters at the national level?
It matters. Looking at the pot you have to find yourself in, getting into the 1/8, there is the pot B and the pot C. And being in any of the pots depends on the marks you accrue. So it matters, but the most important thing is winning the contest, going back to camp, and correcting the mistakes with it.
So
And I must acknowledge that Ifya Kobe gave us a good contest. The ladies are good. Likewise, St. Andrews.
thank you very much. But Mr. Graham, don't you think that also says something about your contestants and your preparation towards the national championship? Because you came up against St. Andrews, who were first-timers last year and came back into the competition this year, and against Efia Kobe, who were runner-ups in the Ashanti Regional Qualifiers. So university practice and its pedigree in this competition and struggling to win a contest with Efia Kobe and St. Andrews, don't you think that is not your normal performance in the competition, looking at your run since 2014?
I acknowledge that, but we have to take it round by round. Now let's take the first round. You realize that we had 18. Ifya Kobe had 18, and St. Andrews also had 18. This is equivalent to 2 major questions worth 3 points, 3 points. And that should tell you that it was a competitive game. Now let's get to the round 2. We made a few mistakes though, but you also realize that looking at the round 1, being a competitive game, it will repeat itself in round 2, even though I acknowledge that we made some mistakes. Well, with the problem of the day, they all had 0. We have to go back and look at our concepts again. And with the true or false, I think the true or false, they had, if my memory serves me right, they had about 2 wrongs. And it ran through all the other competition. at all the other teams. Now let's get to the riddle. That is where our experience came in. And you realize that we were able to use the riddle to redeem ourselves. So let's focus on how we redeemed ourselves based on our experience. And that made us win the contest.
Sure. So if you are talking about experience, then what different explanation are you going to give if you meet another school who is also quite experienced in the competition? Because you came up against Efiako Biampem and St. Andrews, and you won using your experience in round 5. What if you come up against some of the seeded schools in the 1A stage of the competition who also have the experience? How are you going to overcome that?
So the team has taken note of some few things, some few mistakes we did, and we are going to work on that to make sure that we can compete with these schools you are mentioning.
I see. Thank you very much for your submission.
You're most welcome, sir.
Mr. Boateng, how does it feel winning your very first contest at the national level?
Well, it's been a long journey, so we're very happy that we've won, even though we wanted a higher score. We tried our best. So my boys have been doing quite well during the regional contest for some time. But we've not been lucky with our balloting. We always meet very strong schools, so we always come second. So people didn't know that we're good. This year we had Monicas, who was also quite good, but we were able to beat them. So it gave us the confidence. So when we came, and most of the time when people come first time, they go back. So we decided that we are not going to go back. We'll have to stay and make sure our impact is felt. So we're very happy, very, very happy for the results.
Thank you very much. But knowing very well that almost all first-timers at the national level just make their very first appearance to kind of have a feel of how the national stage is like, we need to go back and prepare very well for the subsequent year. So most of the time, I don't even think of winning a contest. But you came in and you won your contest. What did you do differently from what most of these debutants do that you think made you win your contest?
Well, it's preparation. I mean, we from the school, the level of school that we are in, we don't have much resources. But our headmaster, Mr. Fosu, and Boaji have done very well. He has supported us a lot. So we don't have much funds, but he tried his best to meet us halfway so that we'll be able to prepare well as we want. So we thank him very much for that opportunity. So we came well prepared, seriously. We knew we were debutants, but we just took the decision that we'll not just come here and do sightseeing and go back. We came hoping that we can make an impact. That's why we came. So it was a deliberate decision not to just come and have fun, but to let people feel and know the presence of Kofi Ajay.
Sure. So will you also attribute your success to how competitive the quiz is in your region?
Definitely. Everybody knows that Kumasi, the Ashanti region has the strongest competitive. The team, they are quite strong, well prepared. So if you win or you unseed a seeded school, then it means you are good. So any school which is coming from Ashanti region that has won, I mean, it's quite strong, because that's why I'm saying that we've been preparing a lot, but most of the time you meet a very powerful, strong teams, so you're not able to cross over. So if you're able to cross over, then it means you are well prepared. I mean, the teams in Ashanti region are quite strong, and when you come here, your impact is definitely going to be felt.
Okay. So let me ask you this before I move on to Mr. Graham. At the SGS auditorium, where we are currently having this review, we had Ameniampong SHS come up against New Jabin SHS and St. Mary's SHS. Ameniampong SHS won with 55 points against New Jabin SHS 39 and St. Mary's 22.
Okay.
Did you expect Ameniampong to win this contest, and how good have they been in?
Oh yeah, Ameniampong is quite good. We've met them I think met them twice or so, and they were good. Our competition was strong, and So we know that they were a good team. So if you meet them and you take them for granted, you'll be surprised. So most of the Ashanti schools are quite good. And when you do trials with them, you see that some of them are very, very strong. So we knew that one of the teams to watch was Amaniampong.
Sure. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Mr. Graham, at the CNC auditorium, Our Lady of Grace SHS won the contest with 59 points. Asin State College came second with 38, and Women SHS with 17 points. You being a coordinator for university practice, which happens to be in the same region with Asin State College, were you expecting them to win this contest based off some of their performances that you've seen, either at their qualifiers or any trial contest?
Well, based on my experience with Asin State, I was expecting them to win because I think they beat us in 2021. And sometimes you meet them, the way they are able to answer questions, you will see that the students are good. So it's a little bit surprising to find them lose that contest. Yeah.
Sure, thank you.
Yeah.
So,
I
Mr.
mean,
Boateng.
Our Lady
Our
of
Lady
Grace.
of Grace, yeah.
Yeah, we met them. We are in Kumasi. They are very, very good. So if you take them for granted, you'll be surprised. They are very good. We've been having trials with them, and we know they are good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think I followed the regional
Yes.
championship,
And they
in
went.
their very first
Mhm.
contest,
Mhm.
they had all the questions in a round one right.
Yeah.
They had everything right and even picked up bonuses.
Yeah.
So Our Lady of Grace,
I see.
they actually want to look out for in this year's
Yeah.
competition.
Oh, okay.
They are a strong team.
So, Mr. Boateng,
Okay.
St. Hubert's Seminary SHS, 64 points, Fafraha Community SHS, 38 points, and Nandom SHS, 35 points.
Yeah, St. Hubert. I'm sure. I mean, they were a seeded school. That dropped
They were
their
not-
seed.
they were not
Haven't they
seeded.
been seeded before?
They've been seeded a
Yeah,
couple
that's
of
what I'm
times.
saying. They were.
Okay.
So we know them to be a good team in Ashanti region. They are very strong. When you do have trials with them, their coordinator is also experienced ones. And so I wasn't expecting anything. They're a very strong team that we must watch. They are well trained, and I know that they will do well.
Thank you very much. Mr. Boateng, St. Hubert's SHS changed contestants. If you compare the contestants they used for the regional championship to these ones at the national stage, they changed the contestants. So is there a particular time in the journey to the national stage where you select contestants, or it is an open game for everyone? Whoever comes up top stands a chance to be a contestant at the national level.
Yeah. You have a team of students you are training, and then you train them, and they give you the performance. So at the regional level, you see the ones who's ready, you train them, and then the performance they give to you will determine whether you repeat them or not. Subsequently, you have to know that after the qualifiers, you have to do the WASI. Some of the students go off after WASI, you see that they are not pushing the way you expect them to do. And since you have a pool of students, then you may have to make sure they have to change. Because if you rely on a student who is not, putting in much effort as you expect, then you will be disgraced. So I believe that is what happens. If he's doing good and he's not flopping, there's no need to change. We say we don't change the winning team. But if definitely you see that there's a problem somewhere, and if you have a team, another guy who can also do well, then there's no need. But in some schools, you may not have that chance to have 2 strong teams or 3 strong teams. But some schools, we have the quality can have that. If you have that, then definitely you have to change because you own the resource.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
So the next contest at Auditorium 900 featured Adontin SHS, Yasantua Girls SHS, and Toulon SHS. We are all rooting for the girls, but it seems Yasantua disappointed us this time. Did you see this coming?
Yes and no. We met Yasantua a couple of times, and they were good and off. But we were victorious in most of the cases. but I wasn't expecting Anointing to beat them with their pedigree and the name that they have. I was expecting that they will rely on their experience to be able to do well. But I don't think they pulled their weight as we expected. So I don't know much about Anointing anyway. So I was expecting the Asantua to win. But it was a little bit surprising that they lost. Yeah.
Sure. Thank you very much for the submission.
Okay.
Mr. Graham,
Yes, sir.
Mr.
Yes, sir.
Boateng was talking about the name of the school and their experience. Do you think that still counts in the competition?
It sometimes counts. That is, if it plays on the psychology of the students. You know, some of the students, when they hear the name of the school, it can put some sort of frightness in them. So it does sometimes count. But it also depends on your students. If your students are able to compose themselves on stage, I think they can perform. They can even be the big schools. So it all depends on current form and composure. That is what I believe in, current form and composure. I heard you saying that St. Hubert changed their contestant, meaning it was based on what? Current form and composure.
Sure. Thank
Sure.
you. Thank
You're
you
most
very
welcome.
much for that. And at the CNC auditorium, we had, for the last contest, APAM SHS won the contest with 38 points, coming up against EPC Morocco Girls, who were second with 31 points, and Ubiaboa Senior High Technical School with 28 points. For APAM and their history in this competition, were you expecting them to do better? Or you are even surprised that they won the contest?
Okay, so please, I want us to do something. Let's look at the last contest. Our contest, that's of Auditorium 900. Do you have Auditorium 900 scores?
Yeah.
Please, can you kindly read them to me?
In Auditorium 900, St. Peter's SHS won the contest with 65 points
Okay,
against Hohoi EP SHS with 44 points
okay.
and Sirigu Integrated SHS with 7 points.
7 points, okay. Okay. Can you please check respectfully the round one of St. Peter's game so that possibly, or it will be difficult?
Um,
Because I want to do some comparison here.
I think I get what you are trying to jive at.
Okay.
I understand you in the sense that for the St. Peter's contest, in the round one especially, Sirigu Integrated Senior High School had 3 points. So the points were shared between St. Peter's SHS and Hohoi EP. So they were
Exactly.
just dashing the bonuses to them. So I don't know from now, St. Peter's had 25 points.
So sometimes it depends on the schools you are competing with, but you have to take your chances when it comes. So if you compare ours with that of APAM, you realize that ours is similar to what APAM also encountered. APAM is very good, and I think during our regional championship, they
They were at the
beat.
finals.
They were at the final. No, were they at the finals? Yes, they were at the finals.
Yeah.
Sure. So that should tell you something about APAM, which means that the schools APAM competed with also gave them some sort of tough time.
But if you go by that analogy, looking at the contest at Auditorium 900, St. Peter's coming up with 65 points, in as much as Sirigu Integrated were giving out bonuses, they also answered it right, which means that they could answer all the questions.
Yes.
Do you get it?
Yes.
So what about looking at it in a way that you're able to answer every question that is posed to you?
Okay.
The round two is a competitive round.
Yes.
So it depends on your speed, your accuracy, and how fast you are on the bell.
Exactly.
What if they have that? St. Peter's actually have that skill. That's why they made 65 points, not really because of how competitive the contest is. Please, you get it?
I get what you're saying.
Because sometimes you have the school, there are contests that you expect to be very competitive,
Yes.
but one school just stands out and it's a no-brainer. The other
Yeah.
schools won't even stand a chance.
It's true.
So if you use that to compare what you had for your results and how your students were jubilating, don't you think you could have done way better than you did instead of, say, comparing it to the other contests and saying that the difficulty of the questions were probably the same, or ascribing it to the competitiveness of the contest?
So you also realize that in my earlier submission, I told you that We made some mistakes, and I've taken note of those mistakes to correct them. So I accept that as well.
So we should expect better performance from university practice at the
Hopefully.
1A stage.
Hopefully. Hopefully,
Hopefully.
yes.
Sure, we hope that happens. So going back to the other contest that ensued today, we had Benkum SHS coming up against Kajabi Asato SHS and Asimanso SHS. Benkum SHS won with 61 points, Kajabi Asato 44 points, and Asimanso SHS 40 points. So, Mr. Boateng, if you look at the scores here, it means that all the schools were good.
Yeah. Can I get the scores again? You said
Benkum SHS 61, Kajabi Asato 44, and Asimanso 40.
wow.
So looking at the points they had, even the losing school had 40 points,
Yeah.
which makes them likely to qualify
Yeah, that's a very
as
good.
a runner-up.
Sure,
Means they are very good.
Sure.
Very,
Was,
very
was that
good.
the second contest? No, the second batch of contests.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it means they are good. Because if you're able to get that score, it means most of them answered their questions correctly. Both speed race and everywhere. Well, other than that, I mean, some will have dropped. So if you add all their points together, it means the schools are good. And most of them answered their questions very well.
Sure. Thank
Yeah.
you very much.
You're most welcome.
Looking at the contest for today, realize that out of the 12 contests, about 10 of them had schools in the Pot A winning the contest, as compared to yesterday's contest. The one odd contest amongst that is Mankranso SHS winning the contest against YSHS and Regentropin SHS. Mankranso won with 45 points. YSHS, who happened to be the Pot A school in that contest, came up second with just 18 points against Regentropin SHS first timers getting 7 points. What do you think accounted for that disparity? Because we qualified with about 51 points during the regional qualifiers.
Yeah, let me come in here. As he was saying, at times it depends on the type of competition you get from the opponent. If you look at the contest from the north, most of the times the students, some of them are weak. If you look at the regional qualifier, I mean, let's be frank here. So because of that, if you have a good school there, we'll be able to sweep all the speed race, relax and answer all the questions because there's nobody competing with him. And then you also take most of their bonuses. So they may get a very high score indicating that they are good, but you have very two good or three good schools who are all struggling for the speed race and when you win some, so then the score will not be very high. But Mankramso is good from Ashanti region because we have some trials with them and they were quite good. So that's I told you, so from Ashanti region, if somebody compete with a very good school and you think that because the scores was around 40 or so is losing or the scores were not so huge and then he became not a seeded school, you have to be very careful because from where he was coming from during their contest, it was quite challenging and therefore their scores was not as high as you expect. That is why they were able to beat the one people because they had an easier opponent and therefore they were able to sweep their points and you relax and take your speed. Nobody is going to compete with you, so you will not make mistakes as you expect. And so you get a higher score. But if you meet a very good school who is challenging you in the speed race, where you have to rush to also get the answer, then your accuracy comes into and then you get some wrong. But if you are with a weak school and they are not coming, you relax, make sure that you are sure of your answer before you ring the bell.
And that doesn't help at the national level.
Yes, you get it. So that is why I think they beat them.
Thank you very much. I'll go through the contest for today and the marks. At the CNC auditorium, the very first contest, Suhum Presby SHS won the contest with 59 points against St. Charles Seminary SHS, coming up with 28 points and 21 points for Fiasiman SHS. Achirinso SHS also won their contest with 33 points against Samuel Otu's 18 points and Zebila SHS coming up with 8 points. We also had Benkum SHS winning the contest with 61 points against Kajabi Asato's 44 points and Asimanso 40 points. So we will take predictions from you for tomorrow's contest.
Okay.
So you make the predictions based on maybe trials you've had with the school. You can also use the name, anything that you want to say. So for contest 22, we have Awudomi SHS, Ekumfiame SHS coming up against another first timers in this competition, Sewa Kese Girls SHS.
No, I don't know much about them because they are in a different region. I've not had a contest. So looking at it, we may say that the Cedar School appears strong, as we've heard their names before. So we are hoping that maybe they will take it.
Awudomi SHS.
Yeah, Awudomi, yeah.
Sure. They were in the regional championship final.
Yes, that's so they appear strong. So
Contest 25. Ebuakwa State College versus Islamic SHS Kumasi and Waliwali SHS.
Unfortunately, I have not.
yeah, they are talking
Unfortunately, I have not monitored their contest. So giving a prediction will be a little
I've had
bit
a
difficult.
contest with Islamic SHS in Kumasi. They are not bad. So let's hope for the best.
Sure.
But looking at their Cedar School, I can't predict. Uh-huh.
Myself,
Sure.
yeah.
Mr.
Yeah.
Graham, Ashaiman SHS, Agri Memorial, Zion SHS, and Ghana Lebanon Islamic SHS.
I think Agri Memorial can make it. Yes, they can
Agri
make it in this
Memorial.
contest.
Sure.
Because,
This is a battle for the schools in Ashanti region. KNUST SHS coming up against Adventist SHS Bantama and Sewenya Apon Girls SHS.
This one, we're having a debate on it. I mean, it's a home match for all of them. So it's quite difficult. I had a contest with KNUST, I've had some with Bantama. They are both good. I don't want to predict, but I know it's obvious. I mean, we know the strong team. So let's hope for the best for all of them.
Thank you very much. Thank you
You're
very
most
much
welcome.
for joining us this evening for our review show.
You're
Thank
most
you
welcome.
very, very much.
Viewers,
for
thank
having
you
us.
very much for joining us for today's review show. Continue to stream the NSMQ live on our Facebook page, National Science and Maths Quiz, and on YouTube, NSMQ Ghana and Primetime Limited. We bring you another set of exciting contests tomorrow at the 3 venues here at the University of Cape Coast. Before we sign off, let us also continue to note that the National Science and Maths Quiz is proudly sponsored by Ghana Education Service in partnership with GOL PLC and supported by Joy FM, Pepsodent, Jupe Money Transfer, Prudential Life Insurance Ghana, Beta Malt, ALX, Kivo, Bell Beverages, Flora Tissues, Coronation Insurance, Accra College of Medicine, University of Mines and Technology, Academic City University College, PMMC Jewelry, GTP, CHAS, YFM, and Gelmark Foundation. I have been your host, Dr. Stephen Nimo. This is a primetime production. Thank you. We are out.